Hey guys, Jeff here. As promised, I am going to start adding more content to my positive living channel. Obviously, a big focus of that will be on my recovery and, being clean for 28 years and the past 28 years of my journey. God willing, by the grace of God, got sober in 1994. So I can tell you right now, I'm not an expert in sobriety. I don't believe there is such a thing as an expert in sobriety. I think we're all trying to become better people every day. Obviously, the longer that someone is sober and the more work that we put in, the more experience we have. But at the end of the day, we're all just trying to become better versions of ourselves every single day. So anyway, I am going to continue adding more content. I did want to start with, a focus on sobriety and just give you a quick blurb as far as, how I wound up in AA. I'm not going to tell you my whole life story, but how I wound up in AA, and I relapsed for a little while before I finally got sober, and some of the things they told me to do. So, with that being said, I'm just going to jump right in. I guess I was about 19 years old when I was in college, and I partied. I was a recreational drug user, but by that time I started kind of crossing the line into cocaine, and I noticed, it was a little bit of a problem, but everything was manageable. Nothing was out of control per se. But so the cocaine really was the prelude to the ultimate love of my life, as I call it, and that's crack. People are like, why is it the love of your life? It's, crack is the love of my life because I literally fell in love the first time we met. The flip side of that is I love crack because it led me to AA, without which maybe I still was just partying and drinking and smoking pot and snorting coke here and there. And I did that for 20, 30 years, and my life was a disaster, right? So I was fortunate in that, again, I joke around that I fell in love with crack because it brought me to my knees fast. I think by the time I was 21, I was a full-blown crackhead, committing crimes, stealing from my family, all that kind of stuff. Almost died several times. And then ultimately, my brother brought me to my first AA meeting. And I don't remember the day. I don't remember the date. I don't remember the meeting, but I do remember that it was a nighttime meeting, and it was at St. Mary Hospital in Hoboken, New Jersey. And I have no recollection of it at all. So that was the first meeting I went to. And then after that, I was brought to a meeting in my hometown. It was called the Second Street meeting. And I remember walking down those stairs, and I'm like, oh my God, these people are twice my age. How the hell am I gonna get sober with these people? Remember, I'm 21. I'm a kid, right? I'm like, these people they're twice my age. These are all old people in here, right? Mind you, if I met them out in a bar or something, I'd drink, smoke pot, or snort lines with them. But God forbid I get sober with them, right? So anyway, that was in April, I think, of 1994, and I went to meetings, and I started feeling good physically right away, which was good, but I was pretty banged up from overdosing and things along those lines. But I got clean a little bit, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks, and then I would relapse, and then I would get clean a couple of weeks, and I would relapse. Heck, I even went to meetings high as a kite. And looking back on it, I know that I didn't think anyone knew, but I remember all the looks I got. People just like, they felt bad. They would just like, keep coming back, Jeff. Just keep walking down those stairs. Just keep coming. And for some reason, I did. I kept coming. Even though I kept relapsing, I kept coming. Fortunately, by the grace of God, in August of that same year, in August of 1994, I did get sober, and I've been sober ever since. And the only way that happened is, see, those prior few months of the summer, and maybe because I was a kid and I couldn't buy into it, I don't know, but I wasn't doing what they were telling me to do. I wasn't doing the basic core things, the foundation of recovery for my home group. That particular home group is, by the way, a home group is where you join a local AA group, and that becomes kind of like your home base. Those are the people that are going to be there for you and help you. Those are the people that and you learn to build trust with. So that's what a home group is for people who don't know. So my home group, they had a foundation, a core set of rules and principles for us to follow, right? And I'm not even talking about the AA program itself. This was just the home group, what they recommended that people do to get sober, stay sober, and be a useful member of society. So anyway, so with that being said, let me share my screen, because I just want to show you the books, because I was told to there was some things I had to do every day, especially early on in my recovery. Number one, I had to go to a meeting every day for 90 days. One AA meeting every day for 90 days. And I can tell you, by the time I got sober in August, and I was completely, I was done. I reached my bottoms. There was nowhere else for me to go. I was either going to die or wind up in jail. That was it. So I was really willing to do anything. So going to a meeting every day was fine by me by that time, because I was just beaten down and beaten down. And I can tell you, there were times I went to 2-3 meetings a day, sometimes 20-30 meetings a week, right? Early on, when I finally decided to do this, because my life literally depended on it. But, you know, we recommended that, you know, in my home group, you know, that we go to a meeting every day. We read, let me see if I could highlight this. I don't know if I could, yeah. So the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions book, we recommend you read a step a day. So you got to go to a meeting every day, read a step a day. The 24-hour book is a daily meditation. You got to read that passage every day. And let me get myself out of the way. And this is the Alcoholics Anonymous. Oh, what the hell did I just do with myself? Oh, there I am. And this is the AA big book, as we call it. It's kind of like the Bible, if you will. So I was told to read these things every day, go to a meeting every day, get a sponsor and call my sponsor every day. Those are just some of the core things that people new to recovery have to do. And it doesn't matter if you're in AA or NA or Gamblers Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, Sex Addicts Anonymous, whatever it is. The 12 steps are the 12 steps for the most part, right? There might be some variations in verbiage, but the 12 steps are the 12 steps. So in my home group, even though it was AA, we were an open group. What that meant is that anybody can come to our meetings, right? It didn't matter if you were an alcoholic or a drug addict or a gambler or a sex addict or an Overeaters Anonymous, whatever. We accepted everyone, and still do to this day. And we believe that the drinking and the drugging, or whatever your vice is, that is just a symptom of the underlying problem. Us, right? So again, go to a meeting every day, call your sponsor every day. Well, I should start over. Wake up in the morning, we pray. And if you don't pray, you don't have to, because not everybody's religious. We'll get into that when I review the steps in another video. But so I wake up in the morning, read the 24-hour book to, you know, kind of a positive thought for the day, or a thought-provoking kind of passage, and then a little reading meditation type of thing to kind of set your mind in a sober mindset. And then I have to read a step a day and read a passage from the big book. That was kind of my homework when I first got clean. So I had to read these things in the morning, obviously get a sponsor, call my sponsor once a day, and go to a meeting every day. That was my core principles. So that was kind of how I started in recovery. Now, obviously, in upcoming videos, I'm going to, especially the next video, I'm going to go through the 12 steps. Step 1 through 12. Do I have them here? Let me see if I could pop them up real quick. Actually, I'm gonna, again, I'm not an expert. I don't believe in experts in AA. I think we're all works in progress. But I have a lot of experience, obviously, working the steps. So let me stop sharing this real quick. Let me share this screen. Okay, this is it. So these are the 12 steps. I gotta put my glasses on here. So obviously, you can go to AA's website, and 12 steps are there. I'll just read them again. This is how I'm going to end this video, because my next video, I'm going to give you a little blurb, I'll opine a little bit about each step. And then in future videos, I'll actually go in detail into each step, and, you know, what it means to me, and, you know, how it has impacted my sobriety, how to actually implement the steps into your life. So 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. Just one quick note. You don't need to believe in any God to get sober and stay sober. I know many atheists and agnostics who I have the utmost respect for, who were able to work these steps without believing in a traditional religious god or gods. So just want to point that out. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitting to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. Remember, God is used very loosely in the 12 steps. Some people believe in Mother Earth or nature, or they don't believe in anything at all, or I don't know, maybe they believe in a mushroom. It doesn't matter. You can call it whatever you want to call it. The thing is prayer and meditation is all about positive thinking and getting your mind in a situated to have a balanced day. So, but again, we'll talk more about that in the future. I don't want people turned off by God just because, like, I'm religious. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I was raised Catholic. I lost my way. When I got to AA, I found God again. I found Jesus. I shouldn't say found Jesus. He was always there. I just had to catch up to him because I was doing my own thing, right? But you don't have to believe in any God to get sober and stay sober and to be a useful member of society. And 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Again, spiritual awakening has nothing to do with God. When you work these steps, it doesn't matter what you believe in. You are going to have a spiritual awakening, right? It's about raising ourselves from the ashes, right? That is the awakening. So anyway, so those are the steps. Again, I'm going to do subsequent videos. I'll go through each step and offer my little tidbits about each step, you know, how it impacted my life and my sobriety, how I work those steps, or how someone can work them. So keep an eye out, and just remember, like, I'm going to be doing these videos, and a lot of it's going to be focused on sobriety. Nothing here is a replacement for a meeting or a sponsor. I don't want anyone to think that you could just watch a video on YouTube and it will, you know, it could be a supplement or complement to your daily routine, but it should not be a replacement to actual sobriety, going to meetings, talking to a sponsor, doing the work. So let me stop this. So that's all I have. I will see you guys soon. And again, I'm going to keep from doing these videos. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share it around too, because, you know, it's not just alcohol or drugs. You know, there's a lot of people with a lot of addictions out there, and the 12 steps and how to implement those 12 steps in our lives to become useful members of society. It works for all addictions. It really does. But again, we have to work it for it to work. So thanks for watching. I will see you guys soon.